Good morning, students. Okay, so in our today's class, we will continue with exercise 2G. We had stopped with this exercise in our last class. Okay, so we will continue with the same thing. Question number 2, we have to simplify these expressions. Okay, so question number 2, the first one is 4 into 2x plus y minus 3 into 5x plus 4y. So in our previous exercise, we saw how to expand the brackets, how we multiply a number to a bracket and we simplify it. So here also there are two brackets, we have to expand them and then we have to simplify the expression. So let's start. What do we do? When a number is multiplied to some expression, we multiply that number to each term inside the bracket. Okay. So here this 4 will be multiplied to each term inside the bracket. 4 will be multiplied to 2x. Then 4 is having a plus sign. This y is also having a plus sign. So plus into plus will be plus. Then we will multiply 4 to y. Okay. So this will be 4 into y. Then we multiply this 3 to each term inside the bracket. So first we see 3 and 5x. 3 is having a negative sign and 5 is having a plus sign. Okay. So this minus into this plus will be minus. So we write a minus sign and we do multiplication of 3 and 5x. Okay. After that, this 3 is negative, 4 is positive. So minus into plus will again be minus and we will multiply this 3 and 4y. So 3 into 4y. Okay. Now we multiply these terms. 4 into 2x is 8x plus 4 into y will be 4y minus 3 into 5x. We only multiply the numbers together and the variables together. So here there are only numbers. So 3 into 5 will be 15 and there is only one x, so there will be 1x, and then minus 3 into 4y will be 3 into 4 is 12 and 1y is there. Okay, so we have got these 4 terms. Now in these 4 terms there are like terms. So 8x and minus 15x are like terms and plus 4y and minus 12y are y-like terms. Okay, so we collect them together and write them together. So 8x minus 15x plus 4y minus 12y. Okay, so we have written the x terms together and the y terms together here. Now we solve them. So what is 8x minus 15x? This we have to solve by the sign rule table. So according to the sign rule table, if one number is positive, now this 8 is not having any sign in front of it, means it is positive. Okay. So one number is positive and the other number is negative, then we have to subtract them. Okay. So we subtract 8 from 15. So 15 minus 8 is how much? Let's count. After 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 7. Okay. So 15 minus 8 is 7. So 8x minus 15x will be equal to 7x. And the greater number is 15. 15 is having a negative sign. So we put a negative sign for the answer also. Okay. So this becomes minus 7x. 8x minus 15x is minus 7x. Then for the y terms, 4y minus 12y, again here also one number is positive, the other number is negative. So we have to subtract them. So 12 minus 4 is 8 and these both are y terms. So the answer will be 8y. Again here the greater number is 12. It is having a negative sign. So the answer will also have a negative sign. Okay. So this is our final answer. Minus 7x minus 8y. And this we cannot further simplify because these both are unlike terms. One is x term and the other one is y term. So we cannot add or subtract these two terms. Okay. So this is our final answer. Now the second one. Now the second one is g minus h minus 2g plus 6 into 3h minus 5g. Okay. Now here if you look at this expression here which is written in the bracket, there is no number which is multiplied outside. Okay. So if there is no number here, this g and h minus 2g are separated by minus sign. Okay. So this g is not multiplied to h minus 2g. Okay. It is g minus h minus 2g. If there would have been some number here, then it would have been multiplied to h minus 2g. But here if there is no number, means there is 1 there. Okay. So we can put a 1 here. Okay. So it is multiplied to minus 1. So now let's expand this bracket. So this becomes g minus Now this is minus and this is plus, so minus into plus will be minus. 1 into h is h. Then minus, we have to multiply this minus 1 to minus 2g also while expanding. Okay. So minus into minus will be plus. 1 into 2g will be 2g. Okay. Then we put a plus sign. This expansion is done. We go further now. Okay. Now this is 6 into 3h. So what is 6 into 3h? 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18. So we write 18h and then minus 5g is there. Okay. So we have got these terms now. There are some g terms and some h terms. So we collect the g terms together. So how many g terms are there? 1, 2 and 3. So we write them together. G plus 2g minus 5g, and then h terms, there is one minus h and one plus 18h. So I write them together, minus h plus 18h. So the g terms together and the h terms together I have written. Now I solve them. Now how to solve them? This is g means this is 1g. Okay. So 1g plus 2g will become 3g. So I write 3g and I carry this minus 5g as it is. I will solve it further. Okay. And then minus h plus 18h. So minus plus. One number is minus, one number is plus. So we have to subtract. So 18 minus h. So 18h minus h means 18h minus 1h. Okay. So 18 minus 1 is 17. So the answer is going to be 17h. The greater number is 18. 18 is having a plus sign. So the answer will also have a plus sign. Okay. So now there are again these two g terms. So we will further solve them. So what is 3 minus 5? 3 is positive, 5 is negative. So we have to subtract them. So what is 5 minus 3? 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So this will be 2g. Greater number is 5. It is having a negative sign. So the answer will also have a negative sign. Okay. And then this plus 17h will be carried down. So this is our final answer. Minus 2g plus 17h. These cannot be further simplified because these are unlike terms. Okay. So this is the final answer simplified for this given expression. Okay. Now the third one is a bit lengthy. There are two expansions of brackets and then we need to solve, and there are three terms. There is an r term, there is an s term and t terms also. Okay. So this is a bit lengthy. So let's solve. Starting 7r plus 10. Now this minus 2 is multiplied to whole of this bracket. Okay. So we have to multiply minus 2 to each term inside the bracket. Okay. So let's solve. This is minus. This 2 here is plus. So minus into plus will be minus. So we put a minus sign. Then we write 2 into 2r. Okay. Then this we will now multiply this minus 2 to plus 3s. Okay. So minus into this plus will be minus and 2 into 3s. Then this minus into minus will be plus 2 into 5t. Okay. Then we are expanding the second bracket. Now here this plus 2 is multiplied to the bracket. So plus 2 will be multiplied to each term for 4s also and to minus t also. So let's first solve the signs. So this is plus and this is also plus. So plus into plus will be plus. Then 2 into 4s. Okay. Then we will multiply this plus and this minus. There is a minus sign here. Okay. So plus into this minus will be minus and we will write 2 into t. And then this plus 5 will be carried as it is. Okay. Now we will do these multiplications. Now this is 7r plus 10 minus 2 into 2r is 4r. 2 into 2 is 4. Then 2 into 3s. 2 into 3 is 6 and s. Plus 2 into 5 is 10t. Then plus 2 into 4s. 2 into 4 is 8s. Minus 2 into t is 2t plus 5. Okay. So now we have got these terms, r, s, t terms, and there are also constant terms which don't have variables. Okay. So we will bring the like terms together now. We will bring the r terms together, the s terms together, the t terms together and the constant terms also together. So r terms are, this is 7r minus 4r. So there are only two r terms. So write 7r minus 4r. Okay, these are the r terms. Now I collect the s terms together. So minus 6s and plus 8s. So I've written this minus 6x and plus 8x together. Now the t terms, plus 10t minus 2t. Okay, so these 10t minus 2t. These t terms I have written together, and then I write these constant terms. See, this 10 has no variable here. Okay, so it is a constant term. If a number does not have any variable, any letter with it, it is a constant. So here this 10 is constant and this 5 is constant. So I write the constant terms also together, plus 10 plus 5. Okay, these are the constant terms. Now I solve these like terms together. So 7r minus 4r, 7 minus 4 is 3r. Then minus 6s plus 8s, minus 6 plus 8. One is negative, one is positive. So we have to subtract. So subtract 6 from 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. So the answer will be 2s. Greater number is 8. It is having a positive sign. So the answer will also have a positive sign. Then plus 10t minus 2t. Plus minus, so we have to subtract. So 10 minus 2 is equal to 8. So the answer will be 8t. Greater number is 10. It is having a plus sign. So the answer will also have a plus sign. Okay. And then plus 10 plus 5 is 50. Okay. So this is our final answer. Okay. This cannot be further simplified because these are all unlike terms. This is an r term, this is an s term, this is t term, and this is constant term. So we cannot further add them or subtract them because they are unlike terms. So this is our final answer for this given expression. Okay, the simplified one. So in this way we simplify expressions which are very large also. Only the thing is that you have to follow the sign rules properly, the multiplication of sign rules and the addition, the multiplication of signs and the addition of the signs. Okay, so this was the second question. Now we go to the third question. Okay, now the third question, it is write an expression for the area of these shapes expanding and simplifying where necessary. So some shapes are given to us here and we have to write an expression for the area of these shapes. Okay, so we know the formula for the area of some shapes, like area of a rectangle, area of a triangle, area of a circle, like that. Okay, so here this first shape which you can see here is a rectangle. Okay, so for a rectangle we know that the area of a rectangle is given by length into breadth. So what is the length of a rectangle? Length is the largest side. Okay, and the breadth is the smaller side of the rectangle. Okay, so this is the length and this is the breadth. Similarly, this is the length. The opposite two parallel sides which are there of a rectangle are the lengths, and two shorter sides which are there are the breadths. Okay, so this length is given to us and the breadth is also given to us. Okay, so first let me write the formula for area of a rectangle. Area of a rectangle is equal to length multiplied by breadth. Okay, so here for this rectangle the length is given to us as, this is the length, this and this is going to be equal because two parallel sides of a rectangle are equal. Okay, so the length here is x plus 5 and the breadth is equal to 3. Okay, so the area of this rectangle is going to be length into breadth. So the length here is x plus 5. So here in the formula, in place of length, we will put this value of length. Okay, because for this rectangle, the length is x plus 5. Okay, so in the formula, in place of length, put this expression. Okay, so I put in place of length, I put the expression which is x plus 5. Okay, multiplied by the breadth. What is the breadth of this rectangle? We have written breadth is equal to 3. Okay, so B here in place of breadth I will put number 3. Okay, so this becomes x plus 5 multiplied by 3. This I can write as 3 into x plus 5. Okay, because if we multiply two numbers, suppose it is 2 multiplied by 3, that is going to be equal to 3 into 2. 2 into 3 is equal to 3 into 2. Okay, so we can write this anyhow. this number also we can write first, and this number also, this expression also we can write second. Why we are writing in this form? Because this comes in the form of expansion of brackets, right? We have seen how to expand the brackets when they are in this form. So we write it in this form. Now we have to multiply this 3 to this expression. So first we multiply 3 to each term inside the bracket. So this will be 3 into x plus, because this is a plus here, so plus into plus will be plus, and 3 into 5. Okay, 3 multiplied to the second term. Now this multiplication will be 3 into x is equal to 3x plus 3 into 5 is equal to 15. So this is the expression for the area of this given rectangle. Okay, so area of this rectangle is 3x plus 15. This cannot be further simplified. Okay, now this was the first one. Now the second one is a little bit complicated. Here you can see that this complete figure, if you see, this does not represent one rectangle. Okay, this is not one single rectangle. But if you look at it in some other view, you can see that there are two rectangles which are combined together. One is the longer rectangle and one is a shorter, a smaller rectangle. Okay, if you leave this part, you will see that this is the first rectangle, and if you leave this much part, you will see that this is the second rectangle. So I name this as number 1 and this as number 2. This is the first rectangle and this is the second rectangle. Now here, if we have to find the area of this whole shape, area means what? Area, suppose if we have one rectangle here, its area means how much portion it has covered, how much space it has covered of the total. Suppose this rectangle I have drawn, this rectangle I have drawn on this board. Okay, so how much space of this board it is covering, that is called its area. So here this much space this rectangle is covering, so this is its area. Similarly, if we have to find the area of this shape, it will be how much? It will be this whole thing. Whatever I am shading, that will be its area. Okay, so we have to find the total area, but we don't have any such formula to find the area of this shape. So what we do, we break it into parts. So we have two parts of which both the parts are rectangles. Okay, so here this is the first rectangle and this is the second rectangle. So if we find the areas of both the rectangles separately and if we add them, we will get the area of the total rectangle. Okay, so sorry, not the total rectangle, it is the total area of the shape. Okay, so first let us find the area of the first rectangle. So for the first rectangle, here, if you leave this part, you will see the first rectangle. So for the first rectangle, what is the length? The longer side. Which is the longer side? This. So this will be the length and this will be the breadth of the first rectangle. Okay. So for the first rectangle, I write the length is equal to x plus 3 and the breadth is equal to 2. Okay. So with this length and breadth value, we will find the area of the first rectangle. Okay. So the area of first rectangle is equal to length into breadth. So the length is x plus 3 and the breadth is 2. Okay. So x plus 3 into 2 can be written as 2 into x plus 3. So on multiplying this, we get 2 into x plus 3 means 2 into x, that is equal to 2x, and then plus into plus is plus, this plus into this plus is plus, and 2 into 3 is equal to 6. So this is the area of the first rectangle. Okay. Now we have to find the area of the second rectangle. So for the second rectangle, if you cover this much part, you will see the rectangle number 2. Okay. So for the second rectangle, this will be the length and this will be the breadth. The longer side, we normally call the longer side as the length. So here this you can see that this is slightly longer side. So this is the length and this is the breadth. So I write for the second rectangle, the length is 2 and the breadth is equal to x. So with this length and breadth value, we will find the area of the second rectangle. Okay, so area of the second rectangle will be only this much. Leaving this part, only this much will be the area of the second rectangle. Okay, so I write area of second rectangle is equal to length into breadth. The formula is the same. Area of a rectangle formula is the same. So we just have to put the values of length and breadth in the formula. So length is equal to 2 and the breadth is equal to x. So that will be 2 into x, which is equal to 2x. This is the area of the second rectangle. Now we have to find the area of the total shape here. So for the total shape, if we add the area of the first rectangle and area of the second rectangle, we will get the area of the total shape. Okay, area of the first rectangle is going to be only this much and area of the second rectangle is only this much. But if you want the total area, whatever area I have shaded here in red color, that is the total area of the shape. So if we want the total area, we will have to add this area plus this area. Okay, so that will be equal to, I write area of total shape is equal to area of the first rectangle plus area of the second rectangle. So that is 2x plus 6, and whenever you write an expression, you please put first it in a bracket. Okay, and then afterwards you can remove the bracket. So here I write 2x plus 6 in bracket, and then I add it to area of the second rectangle is 2x. Now I remove the brackets, so that will be 2x plus 6 plus 2x. Now this is not multiplied here, it is added, so we can just remove the bracket here. Okay, so this is equal to, now here there are two x terms, so we write them together, so that will be 2x plus 2x plus 6. Okay, now these 2x plus 2x, they are like terms, so 2x plus 2x is equal to 4x plus 6 I write as it is. So this is the total area of the given figure. Okay, the total area of the given figure is 4x plus 6. Now this was the second sum. Now we go to the third sum. Third sum is a bit difficult. The third question here you can see that there is a rectangle, and inside that rectangle there is one more rectangle which is smaller. Okay, and here the question is, write an expression for the shaded area. So this shaded area which I have shaded in black, that area you have to find. Okay, so how do we find that area? If suppose we have the outer rectangle, if we find the area of the outer rectangle only, then the area of the outer rectangle will be everything. Okay, will be all the area including this smaller area, smaller rectangles area. But we don't want this smaller rectangles area, right? Because this area has been excluded. This much portion is not shaded here, right? Only we have to find the area of the shaded part. So what part is shaded? Rest all part is shaded. Only this much part is not shaded. So if we want to find the area of the shaded part, we have to find the area of the outer rectangle, and then we will find the area of the inner rectangle, and if we subtract, if we minus this much area from the total area, we will get the area of the shaded part, right? If suppose you have a bigger cardboard rectangle, suppose, and if you put a small cardboard rectangle in it, only the part of the outer, the bigger rectangle which you can see, that much area you have to find. So for that we will first find the area of the outer rectangle, then subtract the inner rectangle area from it. Okay, so for the outer rectangle means the bigger rectangle. So for the outer rectangle, what is the length? The length is this, 3x plus 2, and the breadth is 10. Okay, so area of outer rectangle will be equal to 3x plus 2 into 10, because length into breadth. So the length is 3x plus 2 into breadth is equal to 10. So that is equal to 10 into 3x plus 2. So this again can be solved by expansion of brackets. 10 into 3x is 10 into 3 is 30x plus 10 into 2 is equal to 20. So this is the area of the outer rectangle. Now for the inner rectangle, you can see that the length, the things which I have written in red here are the length and breadth of the smaller rectangle, the inner rectangle. Okay, so I write for the inner rectangle, the length is x and the breadth is 4. Okay, the length is x and the breadth is 4. So the area of inner rectangle is equal to length into breadth. So x into 4, which can be written as 4x. Okay. So now we don't want this inner rectangle area. This much area has been excluded from the shaded part, right? So we have to exclude, we have to subtract this much area from the outer part. So area of shaded region is equal to area of the outer rectangle minus area of the inner rectangle. So what is the area of the outer rectangle? It is 30x plus 20 minus area of the inner rectangle is 4x. So we subtract 4x from the outer rectangle area. So this is equal to 30x plus 20 and this is minus 4x. So now this x and x terms we collect together. So this is 30x minus 4x plus 20. So 30x minus 4x is equal to 26x plus 20. So this is the expression for the shaded portion area. Okay. So this was a little bit difficult. So with this sum we complete this exercise 2G and we will stop here. We will meet in the next class. Okay students, goodbye.